soro no ye wana wasule nana. Erire Biafra fo mama o. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Obamomo. The spirit of Biafra is upon me. That is why I am offering this song to our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Urobo dialect and Njoku. Lucky star is sinking low, sinking low. Odogu, Ekpa. Amorotomo agbada bururu. Amorotomo agbada bururu. Excellency Simon Ekpa. Yeruwe yo witruwe salon. Go with the same the freedom you brought to do well for us. Urobi soko with the same no. Amorotomo agbada guru. PM Simon Njoku. You have done so much for us. I am shedding tears of joy. Your tide cannot be seen easily. I search around the whole world, the greatest freedom fighter. We, the Robo, we appreciate you awesome. Worry sister say you are so good, you are so wonderful. Clara Dimu say you are so good. Oh, Amorutamo Agbada. Helen Peter say you are so good. Patricia Robo say you are so good. Amorutamo Agbada Guru. What a wonderful man. The good guy. It's only the food that we eat. And I know those who are sitting at the fence in this Biafra struggle, they will not learn. Maybe they will learn in the grave. Urobisoko with the sendo. The freedom you brought to do well for us. Worry sister say you are so good. Urobisoko with the sendo. Claradim say you are so good. Anna Wabadaburu. Amarotomo Agbada Guru. Amarotomo Agbada Guru. Urobisoko with the sendo. Urobisoko with throw a salute. Even lucky star, it is sendo. You do well, it is sendo. That you do well, we salute you, we throw away salute. Patricia Urobo say you are so good, you are so good. Amorotomo Agbada Guru. I am in tears of joy, for your good one cannot be quantified. Oh, Amorotomo agbada guru. Ewo, Kisiko
Those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb were born. Do this very well. You must be very, very strong.
When the Moroku, Nijimwero Mekumu Biafra. When the Siputa. Makamwero wekanyinaga Biko kulie Ogeruo Biko kulie Iye jamalike Ogeruo Owele ndiaboroku Makamwero wanyi Owele ndiaburuchekwa Makamwero wewumu Biafra Biko kulie Ogeruo, Biko Kulen, Iye Jamalike, Ogeruo, the spirit of Biafra, Biko Kulen, Ogeruo, when the Biafra Gideon, Biko Kulen, Ogeruo, Oamadike no Nadonjon, Mukekweki Eremeyae, Podike, Mosike, Rurachobalike. Biko kulie Ogeruo, Biko kulie, Iye jamalike Ogeruo. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in exile, Master Simon Ekpa, a bond smooth to Sri Gabaniru Naibuna, new brother and dad from my Yebudo, or Guinea. Master Simon Ekpa, a mesu Okwere, Onyendu. Iye jamadike ruo, imokwa Simon Ekpa wujie. Iye jamadike ruo, Simon Ekpa watakata wo. Ojuda kwenyi, mkwikwere onye nduki nebe tata. I will follow you, I will follow you, I will follow you, never look back. I will follow you, mkwa Prime Minister Veronye. Aniga wanuga I will follow you, Anina, I will follow you, I will follow you. The question is this: if Nigerian government failed to organize referendum for children of Biafra, are you ready to lead us to do anything in order to get freedom for Biafra? And I'm going to be number one to follow you. If you are looking for 100 men, you will find 50 in me. Okwe Bucharangui, Master Simon Ekpa, or Guinea.
Master Simon Ekpa, Biko, GC, Kaka, Njoku, Atakata, Kaina, Ojuda, Ueyi, Kikolonyendu, Kine, Menata.
I am 50 men, oh yes, and I said, I will follow you, I will follow you, I will follow you, never look back. I will follow you, for Prime Minister Veronye, and you got one who got I will follow you, and I will follow you, I will follow you, for Simon Veronye. Oh, Madike Biafra, Dahi Moroka Biarole. Iye Jamadike Biafra Republic Government Awutie. Iye Jamadike Commander General Lewejiri. General Buduso, Sona Atakata War. Commander Holy Ghost, Okonye Borokunu Nazatata. Biko
Maka Biafra, we're putara anyị onye ndu, Simon Ekpa,
Witness me, I want to remain in the spirit because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have sealed, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, oh Lord of hosts, to have mercy on us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwabiama benigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All these we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this very program today. I appreciate everyone who has connected to this very program. I thank you for being part of this program today, wherever you are watching us from. If you are watching from TikTok, I welcome you, I appreciate you, and I thank you for being part of the program. Please kindly tap on the screen, and share the program with someone to join us and get the information that is about to come. If you are watching from Facebook, I appreciate you equally as you join us on Facebook. Thank you so much for being there. Please kindly like and share. I can see many of you there. Thank God. Njoku, I can see you. Many of you that are joining from Facebook, I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for joining. Dave Bless, thank you so much for joining. So everyone that has connected to this very platform today, and more especially those who are joining me on the platform where I am hosting this program, David Herbert channel on YouTube. If you are with us here on David Herbert channel on YouTube, I appreciate you and I thank you so much because you are the reason I am here. You are the ones that are making it possible for this program to continue unabated. I appreciate every one of you wherever you have connected from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my sincere greetings according to your time zone. If you have not yet followed these platforms, please kindly follow these platforms. On TikTok, on Facebook, and on YouTube. If you have not shared, kindly share because information is power. More especially, that is one of the charge that was given to us by our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nandekan. He said, we should make sure that every single person is carried along. And we are trying as much as we can to carry everybody along. We will continue to do that until we exit the zoo. For the sake of those that are joining us on this platform for the very first time, I want to remind you that this platform where you are watching this program is a platform that is under the Biafran government. A platform under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and the Supreme Command of Mazi Nandekan. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come to this platform to propagate lies. We don't come here to attack any persons or individuals. We have not come here to engage in any saga. We don't come here to attack any race or religion. What we do in this platform is to propagate the gospel of freedom, more especially the freedom of the Biafran people. Biafra is the old southeastern region of Nigeria, a country that existed from 1967 up until 1970. Fought a brutal war, which can be called a genocide because people were starved to death. Millions, more especially children. The world powers, the British, the Russians, and all the rest of them came together and fought against Biafra, and they took Biafra and handed over to the Janjaweed, the Caliphate. Since then up until now, Biafra land has been under occupation by Nigerian government. The occupation of Biafra land by Nigerian government has continued up until this moment as we speak. The atrocities have continued. The genocide continued and nobody says anything about it. That is why we have taken it upon ourselves to educate the world about the situation in the contraption called Nigeria, more especially in Biafra land. We come here to debunk every lie that has been told against our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, against our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nandekan, against the Biafran people. We come here to set the record straight. If you are genuine in your heart, if you are genuine in your heart and you love humanity, you are going to be in love with what we do on this platform. Now that you know, it is your choice to decide either to watch the program or not to watch the program. Everyone that is watching today, I believe, are those that has conscience. And they are going to look through and understand what we are saying. Every morning that we come here is always an interactive section. That is why On the platform where I host the program, David Harbour channel on YouTube, there is a link on the comment section. You have the right to click that link and join us for this program so that you can air your opinion. The only thing that qualifies you to join us on this platform to speak is to be a human being. There is no law that says that you must be in the Biafra struggle for you to join us. There's no law that says that you must be an African to join us. There's no law that says that you must be an Igbo person or a Biafran to join us. Wherever you are, regardless of your belief and your own ideology, if you feel there is something you want to discuss with us, there is an information you want to pass, there's a prayer you want to make, there is an argument you have or a question that you have for us, feel free. Come to the David Harbour channel on YouTube, click the link, come in and air your opinion. We will give you all the time and we are going to listen to you. The whole world will equally listen to you. So you be careful what you want to say or what you want to ask. But the promise I'm giving you that every question you ask will be responded to, and every contribution you make will be noted by the government of Biafra. I beg you that when you want to join me on this platform to speak to the world, you must appear in a decent manner. We cannot admit you into the platform naked. You must dress up, cover yourself properly. And when you are speaking on this platform, try as much as possible to keep your words civil. Speak in a civil manner so that the whole world will digest what you are saying, understand you, and look into the matter. Very, very important. We have come once again, as we always do. And once again, I say good morning. Before we go further and I introduce the topic of today that we're going to discuss, first of all, let us touch back on the issues at hand, the jingles that we have, the information you need to remember. The convention of Biafra is starting in a few days' time. Should be in 3 or 4 days' time it's going to start. It will kick off on the 29th of this month, and from 29th up until 3rd of December. But 2nd, precisely, that will be the day, the D-Day, the day Biafra declaration will be made. And the whole world will stand still. On the 2nd of December, a new nation will be born, defended, and recognized. Let us listen to these jingles before we come and continue on the message.
We know Biafra. We know Raffle Pro. We know. BFR Raffle Jingle. My people, follow who no road. His Excellency Simon Ekpa Njoku. Na him they carry us enter Biafra. He they play the show. No be lie. The good guy, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government, in exile, went there for Obodo Yibo, Finland. With him government, na him they do the wonder. Say make you join, follow up. He go sweet you for body. Freedom today, better for you. And your picking them, I dey tell you, he can't still bring ogbonge raffle draw with big money when you go win. I dey tell you, no be lie. Starting from on the 29th of November, go reach December 3rd. Now this thing they happen 2024. And make I shock you, the money, it makes sense well. $20 and total winning prize $10,000. A first prize $5,000, third prize $2,000. BFR. No sit down, no sit down. Look, na dog name. They want from here gather money to build Biafra, where you they cry for sins. You go also win too. No.
Honorable Simon Ekpa. Biafra gadere. Adekwana ọfọ nna o. Biafra gadekwa. Iwe tụrapụ ya aka ga-egote ya. Asịrị na Biafra gadị o. Ibe maka ige. Only Biafrans na ale ọfụma. Ụmụ Biafra. Simon Ekpa ga-adịkwa n'elu ọmụmụ okpuru Biafra ga-adị. Only Biafra na ale ọfụma. Biafra ga-adị. Ụmụ Biafrans na ale ọfụma. Anyị ga-adị. Maka lecha na agwa ụtata. Biafra ga-adịrị. Well, ụmụ na Biafra ga-adị o. Biafra ga-adị. Biafra ga-adị o. Biafra ga-adị. Biafra ga-adịrị o. Biafra ga-adịrị. Biafra ga-adị o. Biafra ga-adị. Biafra ga-adị o. Biafra ga-adị. Biafra ga-adị o. Biafra
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining, everyone that have connected, wherever you are connecting from. If you have not yet connected, please connect, like, and share, invite people to join us as we kick off on this very important program. This program is very important because we are going to speak about very, very important issues that concerns every one of us. As we awaited the appearance of the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Nigeria, Simon Ekpa, there are things that we are supposed to do. And for those who are worried about the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, worry no more. I have said it time and time again. If you are one of those that is so worried, some who said they don't eat, you don't do this or do that, please stop your worries. The Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra, is going to join us in a very short while before you know it. We have said it time and time again, stop being worried. Stop getting trouble. We know, we understand that the Biafrans love him so much. Yes, we do. But every single thing that is happening for our own good. The earlier you understand that, the better. Your utmost concern now should be what you are going to do as we enter into this last phase of the restoration of independent state of Biafra. As we enter into this final stage, ask yourself, how prepared are you? The Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic Government in Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is in a safe hand. And in a very short while, you are going to see him again, speaking to us from all the platforms of the Biafra media. It is not going to be for too long. Very, very soon. I mean, very, very, very soon. I do not want you to allow the enemies to distract you. And I would not like you to engage and join people that are sharing fake videos and fake news. Do not push any fake news or fake video about our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has a channel through which he speaks to every one of us. The only thing you can do and continue to do is to follow all the Biafra Republic Government in Exile platforms. Follow them closely and diligently. And I bet you in a very short while, you are going to hear from the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa. He is going to speak to us. You don't need to disturb yourself. You don't need to worry yourself. You don't need to get exhausted. You don't need to be pushed around. As we speak, we have only 3 days more to go. We have 3 days more to go. And for those who do not know, now you know. The journey to our freedom is unstoppable. Nobody can stop it. The only thing you can do on your own today is to ask yourself some genuine and legitimate question. How are you going to play your own role to see that the restoration of independent state of Biafra is a success? What are we going to do to see that the glorious return of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa will be memorable? You are supposed to be asking yourself, how prepared are you to welcome the arrival of Obatobiye while he has engaged on national assignment, answering questions for you and I? He is going to come out very soon to give us the result of that break. Do not try to form your own world. Do not create your own trouble. Do not create your own perspective. Be patient and follow us diligently. The Prime Minister is going to speak to us very, very soon. As we speak, a lot of us Biafrans are already in Finland. As you are watching this video today, Biafrans are flooding into Finland as we speak, landing from different countries. The Finnish government is already feeling the presence of the Biafran people, and the Biafran people are welcomed. The Biafran people are welcome in a very outstanding way. Do not be discouraged. Do not be distracted. You must stay encouraged. There is no going back. It does not matter what you see. It doesn't matter what you hear. It doesn't matter what transpires. There is no going back. If you have listened to the statement of our COS, the Chief of Staff of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, you understand that we are not shaking. If you have remembered that message, you understand that we're not shaking. And I bet you the dragon is going to surface very soon. And you'll be surprised. And I'm going to play a short clip from that message of our COS for us to refresh our memories and to strengthen us the more. 3 days to go. There is nothing will make us to back down. If they think that by taking our Prime Minister away in our midst, that will make us confused, we can't be confused. And nobody is going to stop the declaration of the restoration of Biafra.
Who is the government that invited all the different type of terrorists you have? They have their base in Nigeria today. Who is the government that is inviting Hamas and Hezbollah and inviting them to Abuja to come and partner with them? Who is the government when election is conducted? Somebody will go behind the scene and switch the election. They'll carry the election bus and they will steal it. Who is the government doing that? And now they are saying our PM is inciting. Let them know that Biafra is a nation. Our PM is defending Biafrans by the second. Our PM has noted that the way it is done before, where we Biafrans, we just sit, we watch, and these terrorists will come and kill us, kill our mothers, rape our women, kill our children, take away our boys and girls. That is what our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has vowed to stop. And he has vowed with his life. All of us Biafrans in the Brgie cabinet, the Federal Homeland, the Biafran Liberation Forces, the Biafran Army, we have vowed with our life. We are going to continue this same call, this same place that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has. Nobody will stop that. I want to let Biafrans know that our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has set all the structures in place for Biafra restoration from the beginning to the end. So taking him or removing him to go and ask him questions to delay or to disrupt our Finland convention for the next 1 or 2 weeks, it's not going to have any effect. Right?
Did you hear that? The Prime Minister have already set the template for the restoration of Biafra from A to Z. The only thing that the cabinet is doing today is to implement. Every structure for the declaration and restoration of Biafra is set in place. And we are not going to stop. I want you to hear it again from the COS so that you wouldn't be worried. Some of us are getting worried. Don't be worried. Watch closely.
Minister Simon Ekpa has set all the structures in place for Biafra restoration from the beginning to the end. So taking him or removing him to go and ask him questions to delay or to disrupt our Finland convention for the next 1 or 2 weeks, it's not going to have any effect. Rather, it is going to make all Biafrans more determined in the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. We are a full-fledged country. we have met all the criteria for a full-fledged country. We conducted our referendum where over 50 million Biafrans have voted for the independent state of Biafra. We've conducted different topics, we did a Twitter poll where 98% of Biafrans want to exit Nigeria because Nigeria is a killing ground. No sensible person in the world, no sane leader, no individual that has his or her honest right will ever support the existence of a killing ground called Nigeria, where people are killed in their thousands every single day. No sane leader will support that. So anything that Nigerian government is doing, anything the local Finland authorities is doing, I want to assure them that inviting our prime minister or delaying him or making him not to be part of the Finland Convention, which he holds dear to his heart, that will not stop nothing. We are the people. The power belongs to us. The laws of self-determination allow us to rule ourselves, to determine who is going to be our leader. And Biafrans have done that clearly over the past 2 years after they kidnapped and renditioned our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. He is right now in Nigeria DSS dungeon. They did that because they think that when they take our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, there will be nothing about Biafra anymore. That was their wish. That was their thoughts. And now they are partnering with the local authorities in Finland to invite our prime minister to disrupt our Finland Convention. And let me ask everyone listening to me, if the rendition of our leader Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria, if that didn't work, what made Nigerian government think that inviting someone Ekpa by the local police in Finland will work? They know it's not going to work. It's even going to get worse. It's going to get more brutal because we are determined for Biafra restoration. Nobody can stop that. We are all aware that all these are all the crooks perpetuated by the Nigerian government to disrupt what we are doing. And I want to ask Biafrans, before I finalize my talk, let me ask you, when has self-determination, when has the right of a people to rule themselves, when has it become a crime? When has it become terrorism? The world watches. Biafrans, every weekend, we have to raise money. The reason we raise money is because Nigerian government uses reintegrated terrorists to continue to kill our people. They make our youth disappear forcefully. People are taken away from Biafra land and they dump them in prisons in the north, in the west. No, without any justice, without any lawyer. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned from Kenya by the same Nigerian government, by the same people that went to complain to the local authorities in Finland about our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Our leader was renditioned from Kenya. United Nations set up a committee and told Nigerian government to release our leader Nnamdi Kanu. They refused to do that. 3 law courts in Nigeria has told Nigerian Tinubu government to release Nnamdi Kanu. The terrorist government run by Nigeria refused to release him. And now they think without releasing Nnamdi Kanu, if they incarcerate our PM briefly, that is going to make any change. Just think their major reason is to make sure that we take away our PM Simon Ekpa briefly, and then there will be no declaration of Biafra. Hell, oh my goodness. If they know how Biafrans are prepared this time, they will just leave our leader within the next 30 minutes. Because what is coming both to Nigeria and to any international country that participates, become part of anything to disrupt the restoration of Biafra, they will get themselves killed. On that note, I thank Biafrans. I want to let you all know our PM is hale and hearty. It is just a brief disruption to our plans, which is not going to affect anything in any way.
Very, very important. taking away our Prime Minister briefly is to disrupt what we are doing. The target is to make sure that the declaration of Biafra didn't happen. That is the only thing they are pursuing and nothing else. They are trying to see how solid we are. They want to see our resolve. They want to see how strong and how powerful the Biafran people are. Each and every moment when we say that Biafran people are very resolute, when we say that we are consistency personified, they want to test us. They want to test our mental toughness. They want us to show how prepared we are. And this time is the time for us to show how prepared and how organized we are. And I bet you, all eyes on Finland, all eyes in Lati, the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Nigeria, Simon Ekpa, is going to raise the flag of Biafra. Nobody is going to stop that. Forget about the drama you are seeing. It is bound to happen. Everything you are seeing is bound to happen. There is no question they are going to ask Mazi Simon Ekpa that he has not answered in advance. Every single question they intend to ask him, he has answered them in advance. And most of the answers to those questions are in public. The only thing they want to do is to generate a legal document that is going to be a backup for Biafran restoration. A backup for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. That is what I see. Because it is not enough to be talking verbally. They need documents. The world needs documents. If we are going to the international community, we need to present documents. If we are engaging United Nations, we need to present documents. If we are engaging countries of the world, we need documents. And the brief discussion with our interrogation of our Prime Minister by the Finnish authority, local authority, will be documented. And it is going to generate another strong documents to back up the pursuit of the restoration of independence of Biafra. Nothing changed. Just as our COS have said, every structure remains the way it should be. Every single structure remains. Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, and the Prime Minister have already put everything in place where it should be. The structure for the restoration of Biafra is and people who have responsibilities know themselves, and they are minding it effectively and perfectly. They want to know how prepared we are. They really want to know how prepared we are. It is time for the Biafran government to prove to them that we are prepared. And you're going to see it in a few days' time. 3 days to go. The challenge is not only to the Biafran government, it is also to you, the Biafran people. They want to know how prepared you are. They want to know if they can be able to break you down by taking away the Prime Minister. They tried it during the time of Mazi Nnamdi through kidnap. And it didn't work. Now, every eye is on Mazi Simon Ekpa. They still want to test your resolve. It is not going to work either. We are stronger now than we have been before. We are much, much stronger now than ever before. I want to play today the interview that was granted to our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, long ago. This interview was conducted by a journalist sent by Zoological Republic Media. After the interview, they refused to air it. It was our Prime Minister that aired the interview. They did the interview. Our Prime Minister answered every single question when we called for no election. But they refused to air it, and our Prime Minister released that very interview. I will play it. Let us take a look at that very interview. Our Prime Minister answered so many questions and revealed a lot of information. Let us look into that interview once again today and see the responses our Prime Minister gave, which is also going to help. It's going to help you to understand that our Prime Minister is only today getting the legal documents to back up the restoration of Biafra. And for the international media and observers across the world, you can equally listen and tell me the person that is responding, does he sound like somebody who doesn't know what he's doing? Let us go into this very discussion. The interview of our Prime Minister some time ago by a journalist from the zoo, sent by the zoo government.
We're following democratic...
In Nigeria, Biafran people do not have a choice. And that is a historical problem created by the British. So everybody, as you have been a journalist with your experience and the history of Nigeria, you agree with me that Nigeria is a mistake because of the tribal and dangerous diversity in Nigeria, which is also a destructive diversity. So when you give the people the choice to choose how they want to live, that is a true democracy. A democracy is not when you bring in the military and invent communities, burn the communities because people are protesting. You kill them. Is that democracy? Do you do that in the United Kingdom? The answer is no.
But what about your role in all this? Your tweets.
My role.
Wait a minute. Your role in all this. Your tweets and your social media. Why the need for violence?
It is. Yeah.
At least 1,500 people died in the last 3 presidential election campaigns.
Was it my fault then?
And there have been deaths so far in this one too.
That's what we want to correct by making sure we do not continue to validate an evil entity that subject their citizens to death. So the only solution to this is to disintegrate this evil entity and allow people to make their choice so that they can develop and, practice politics in the best way possible, just like the Europeans here.
So are you justifying the violence that comes from the kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria, okay? So it is a long time bomb coming. So what you see happening now, Nigeria have a history of violence from the beginning of Nigeria. After independence, every election in Nigeria has witnessed violence. So it is...
Did you hear that argument from our Prime Minister? They accuse him of creating violence, instigating violence in Biafra land. That is one of the major accusations that they carry along everywhere. But you see, the same question was posed to our Prime Minister about the violence in Nigeria. It's what he's preaching, his activities on social media is creating violence. And our Prime Minister is making it clear to them that Nigeria has a history of violence. And he made an example of the way they conduct their election that had just happened recently and continue to happen. Is that a lie? Every single point he's making here has a source, has a video evidence, audio evidence that you can get even from their own conventional media. Nigeria is the most violent place you can think of on the planet Earth. The government of Nigeria is the most violent government you can ever think of. Always perpetrating violence against its own citizens on every single occasion. Which one are you going to count? Look at the NSAS. Look at the Shiite group that have been murdered at every given point. Look at what happened at Oklahoma recently. Look at Obibo. Which one are you going to count? In all parts of that country. Look at Udi. A country that will continue to perpetrate violence against its own citizens. And someone will come and tell me, why are you doing it in this way? Why are you doing it in that way? I want you to listen to our Prime Minister how he responded again and ask me if what he responded here is not the truth and nothing but the truth.
It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria.
From the kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria. Okay? So it is a long time bomb coming.
From the kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria. Okay? So it is a long time bomb coming. So what
from the kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria. Okay? So it is a long time bomb coming. So what you see happening now, Nigeria have a history of violence from the beginning of Nigeria. After independence, every election in Nigeria has witnessed violence. So it is... No, no. Yeah, cool. It's a meter. Yeah. Sorry, that's my security. Yeah.
Right. What's your relationship with Mr. Kanu at the moment?
Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and I regard him as my leader.
Do you talk? Do you have contact with him?
Well, we communicate somehow, but that's a confidential issue.
Because you see, he's disavowed violence. He thinks he's made statements to say that
everybody condemn violence. I condemn violence.
Okay.
I have always condemned violence. On social media, maybe you don't follow that. But where is the violence coming? Who are those committing the violence? They are the Nigeria state, and their intention is to use violence to blackmail what we're doing. And of course, you do not expect people who are Nigerians who are angry, who have lost hope. And the next thing you see from them is when you are hopeless, you become violent. So what is happening now is not caused by anybody. It is caused by the system itself. And until we begin to understand that the violence happening in Nigeria is being generated by the Nigeria system itself, we will never be telling ourselves the truth.
Are you going to rein in your rhetoric a little bit now? Because we're in the election period. You know people hang on to your words, and it can cause some violence, can't it?
Well, I don't care. We are already at war. In Biafra side of Nigeria, there is a war going on there, and I don't know why medias are not covering it. Do you see a democratic place where the plane will be throwing bombs to the people? It's war. The villages are getting burnt, houses are getting burnt. Even in Ukraine, where you're going to now, the number of people dying in Biafra land outnumber the people dying in Ukraine. So how do you balance that? And who are doing this? The Nigeria themselves, the Nigeria state. When the military comes to the village, instead of protecting the people, they get angry because they obey our orders, and then they start burning their villages. So we don't want to continue like that. We want to have, the only solution to this is the disintegration of Nigeria. And if Nigeria do not disintegrate now, the disintegration later on will be very, very, very chaotic. It will be very hard before international community, if they continue to let us manage this and force people into election in Biafra land, when this time bomb is going to explode, it will affect everyone.
One last question.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the election?
Election is not happening in Biafra land.
Because you don't want people to vote?
Not me. Biafra have decided. I am telling you the fact. There is nothing that will make Biafrans people to go 5 million. How is that possible? How is it possible?
You're denying
I don't know who is Tinubu. I have never communicated with anybody close to him. Just like the way they forged the letter. The reason why this letter issue, Nigeria is a criminal country. They breed criminals. And that is what we're fighting against. The reason why the letter on gets sorted out easily and fast was because it was against Finland. And Finland have to officially react to the letter. And the letter went viral. There are so many lies against me out there on social media. Nobody could come and say it is not true. Okay? So that is, and those lies, when they continue to say it and maintain it, it becomes truth when nobody debunk it.
You talk about criminals. Do you think the candidates for the presidency are criminals?
They are all criminals, yes. All of them.
Even Peter Obi?
Peter Obi is a criminal.
But he's a southerner, isn't he?
He doesn't. I am not a tribal. Listen, I'm not a tribalist. I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want. If I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. He's a criminal. How do you think if Nigeria is a United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has to have for money laundering? Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there. So it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they breed criminals. Peter Obi his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of money laundering, international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in offshore accounts.
But surely Obi, being a southerner, is on the side of your people.
That is the problem. Why must you have somebody that have to be in the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. I don't want what we want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system? This is why we must, make sure that.
My fellow Biafrans, I think I have to stop it there. Why I played this is for us to go back to memory lane and understand what to expect and what is ahead. There is nothing that is being accused of Prime Minister today apart from what you see him have answered here. In advance, he has settled all these issues. But speaking alone is not enough. Just as our Prime Minister said that the convention is to generate documents that is going to back up the restoration of independence of Biafra, back up the government of Biafra and the Prime Minister. In the same manner, this invitation today, where he is now defending Biafra, will also generate legal documents that cannot be disputed anywhere in the world. I want you all to be focused. Don't pay attention to blackmail, propaganda, and idiotic news out there. Don't help to share fake news and fake videos that doesn't have background, that cannot be authenticated. Be focused on the restoration of Biafra, and our Prime Minister is going to speak to us at the due time, very sooner than you expect. You're welcome, my brother Chinonso. You're welcome, Ifan in Nigeria. You're welcome. I appreciate you all for joining us. My brother Ifan, wow, long time. Good to see you, my brother Ifan. Go ahead.
Yeah, please, I greet you. That's me a while.
Welcome.
My brother. Is
don't show you shaking. They don't show you shaking. I see you now. When you come in, they will kick you out. Once you come in, the last time we met, you just come after saying hello. They say bye
bye. My man, they're not allowing me to go to any program. Only on S. That is the only place I speak now. I understand. If I come to Facebook, they'll kick me out. I come to YouTube, they'll kick me out. So they don't allow me to go anywhere again. So, but we will overcome them.
Sure. You're welcome, my brother.
One thing our people need to understand is this: that these people are scared of December 2nd. So you see this shenanigan of arrest of this and that, and blah 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 invitation. It's just that December 2nd, they don't want that declaration to happen.
Yes.
Because they know what it means. And I'm not blaming Finland though. Them, they have to prove their innocence. Do you understand? Exactly. Because the world now will be accusing them that they are protecting a terrorist. Do you understand? So they have to prove that the person they are protecting is their citizen and is not a terrorist.
Yes.
And he is not sponsoring any terrorism. Do you understand? So for anybody to think that maybe after kidnapping our leader, their initial plan is this: to kidnap Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and for everything to die off.
Yes.
Now that one didn't work. Now international and the liberation of Biafra land begin to gain international recognition. And what scares them most is the recognition, the speed the American House are using to recognize this Biafra.
Yes.
With the lobby. That is what scared them most. See, there is no jubilation in them because they know that our prime minister is going to come out very soon.
Of course,
They are not jubilating. Leave all this shenanigans they are doing on social media. And secondly, they are not getting any report from Finland. Do you understand? The report they expect to get from Finland is not what they're getting. They're getting. So that's why none of them, if you watch all the Northern Akaba, none of them is talking, they are not rejoicing because they know that this thing is just mere invitation. The only people that are carrying the propaganda is the Nigerian Zoom media to scare our people away. Okay, look at what happened on Monday. You see the kind of sit at home that happened on Monday that has never happened before. Everywhere was top notch.
Completely shut down.
Understand? For them to know that our people know what they're doing and they know what they want. My brother, there is a stage. There is a stage you will do somebody something, do it. But you see this freedom, we are going to get it. That is the level we are now. For them to know. They thought that maybe because they have not gone to the international organization, complain to them that they look at it. We are complaining to Finland what somebody who is living in their land is doing to our country, and they refuse to take any action, and this and that, blah blah blah. That is the only thing that made Finland to invite our prime minister and they take him to court to prove his innocence. And you know, Nigeria always run away when it comes to this issue of Biafra, but this is now is when the international organization will begin to hear about it, because the international organization that wrote Finland for them to arrest our prime minister for question and take him to court, they are going to see everything.
Yes.
Do you understand? Nigeria always run away. The case of Biafra is in Banjul, where they refuse to go. Anywhere
everywhere, we are with them in the court. Everywhere. Even in Nigeria, we are with them. In West African court, we are with them. In African court, we are with them.
Yeah, he's in court in Nigeria. They refuse to go. He's in court in ICC. They refuse to go. He's in court in United Nations. There's nobody place they call them to come for this Biafra case that they have ever gone to. But this time around, they are going to go it. Understand? The only thing I want to tell our people is this: let nobody shake. You see, this December 2nd is sacrosanct, and Biafra will be declared, and that document is going to be generated. Our COS have said it. Moreover, our prime minister have set up everything that needs to be set up before even this issue begins to happen. So they came late. That is all I have to tell our people. Everybody should be very, very careful and mindful of the kind of news that you listen to. If it's not news that is coming from the Biafra Republic government in Israel platform, do not buy that news, because everywhere now fake news will be flying, and AI adulterated video will be flying here and there.
AI is really working now.
So AI now will be flying here and there. Everything will be flying here and there, so that they will confuse your brain. But remain focused. Remain focused. At the end, victory is ours. The same. It's just how many days? 3 days to go. We will enter into the main thing before December 2nd. Then everything will be declared. And our prime minister is going to declare Biafra. Nobody will declare it. They will see it with their eyes. I salute you, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. So, my fellow Biafrans, the people are speaking, and they are speaking out in numbers. Nothing is going to stop us. It does not matter the propaganda, the blackmail, the push right, left, and center. You must remain focused on the project. Remain focused on the project. Do not allow anything to distract you. Just like my brother has said, you are going to see thousands and thousands of fake news, including AI-generated informations. Please pay attention to the Biafran government media. If you pay attention to our platforms, you will not be deceived. You will not lack any information. You will be carried along at every given time. It's a promise. You will always be carried along. But if you choose to put yourself out of the way, If you choose to live your life in a careless way and allow the enemy to penetrate you, you will regret it. The zoo themselves know what is coming. They can pretend for all I care, but I bet you they do know what is coming. And our Prime Minister is equal to the task.
The time you kidnap Biafrans and enforce their disappearance is over. And of course, Biafrans that are going to be victims of this kidnapping by the Nigeria state, all you need to do is to lie on the floor of whichever or whatever vehicles that they are using to transport you. We may not be able to rescue everyone, but if you happen to be a victim of the Nigeria kidnapping terrorist group and those enforcing the disappearances of our people, if you are part or become a victim of this kidnapping, all you need to do not struggle with them. You do not have what it takes to defend yourself. All you need to do is, when they take you to their vehicle, make sure you lie down very well. Because you don't know when the people that will rescue you will come. The only reason you are going to be succeeded in kidnapping, or they'll succeed in kidnapping you, is that we don't have idea of it. Or that the Biafra Defense Forces don't have idea that you are kidnapped. That is the only way they will take you to their own destination. Otherwise, we will come with a heavy, more firepower to stop them. So if you fall a victim from today, being the 10th of November 2024, if Nigeria terrorist police and army kidnap you in Biafra land and they take you to their vehicle, make sure you lie down very, very well, where your head and nothing will show. Because that kidnapping, we are ending it. Anywhere we see anybody being kidnapped, forced into any vehicle so that we enforce your disappearance, they will be ruthlessly engaged. Except there is no Biafra security there. That is the only way, only when they can succeed. But once there are security of Biafra, you are mandated to go into action immediately to rescue that Biafra. Make sure those kidnapping, those Biafrans are eliminated. From today, this will continue until we get to our convention to make sure that our people are protected. The life of every Biafran is very important to the Biafra government, and we'll go to any length to protect them. We will give them the protection that Nigeria have denied them for decades. We are here with alternative to serve humanity and mankind. Thank you, Odmewu. I want you to understand that forget whatever that is going on social media. Forget whatever that the Nigeria terrorist states are saying on social media and behaving on their National Assembly. They know that the game is over. I am telling you the fact. The northern Nigeria know that the game is over. I know what is going on within them. The presidency of Nigeria know that the game is over. The Senate President Ekpa knows that the game is over. The only people that do not know, or maybe they are just skeptical, are the gullible one Nigerians who are believing in the Nigeria terrorist army that they have the capability to eliminate Biafrans, don't knowing that I actually lost the war already before even the war started.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My fellow Biafrans, we must remain resolute and do not get distracted. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, we must have to focus on our freedom. Nothing is going to stop us from being free. You're welcome, my beloved brother Chinon. So go ahead and speak to us. Let's hear you out.
Mazishus, good morning from my side. I greet the house, all Biafrans, all the genuine Biafrans. I greet all those who stand firm, who know what they want, and who know the map and also who follow, who know the road. I greet all of you. I greet Ikuku Amanonya nke mbụ, Maazị Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister, Eze abata n'obi, ọbata obi nke mbụ, agụọ oti nwata n'iru nne ya. The only mathematics, the only equation, the only formula to solve it. If you want to solve it, unless it's like I greet you. I greet Buruburu one, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, the only onyendu, number one onyendu, nke ndị Biafra. Nke sị na anyị ama anwụ, na mmadụ ibe m ama anara ama ala nna m, na mmadụ ibe ama achụpụ m na be nna m. Onye sị na m na njesi ya bata n'ime ụlọ na hapụ ije na n'ime IGP ka. Asị m na ebe ọ bụla ụnụ na-abụ nọ, na ụnụ gara ama mmiri na-ama anwụ na Eke, n'Orie, na Afọ, na Nkwọ. Ebe ọ bụla ụnụ nọ, ọ ga-adịrị ụnụ mma n'ụtụtụ, ọ ga-adị lee ihe, ọ ga-adị na mgbede, ọ ga-adị n'abalị. Ọchọ m la ọfụm la ọma amụ. Onye ọbụla chọ Simon Ekpa pịọ ya ama Simon. Onye ọbụla chọ na nakara ogbufu na naka na ọjọọ achọta nwunye ya. Ihe ọbụla bụ ihe ọjọọ nzubere isi ya, anyị na-asị na back to sender, anyị na-ebughachiri ụnụ azụ ugboro na-asaa na-achụkwu oke abịa ama. Anyị na-ebughachi ụnụ azụ na Eke, bughachi ya n'Orie, bughachi ya na Afọ, bughachi ya na Nkwọ. Anyị na-ebunye ụnụ ya n'ụtụtụ, binye ụnụ ya n'ehihie, binye ụnụ ya na mgbede, binye ụnụ ya n'abalị. Isi ụnụ ka ọ ga-ada, ụmụ Biafra wee nwere ahụ chukwu oke adị ama. Otu anyị gwere wee esi adịrị ahụ chukwu oke adị ama. Ise. Enwere ọkata this morning ndị na-ebe oge abụọ na ofu oge abịa mmụọ n'ime oge, na-asịsị ya. Ọkata obi ya bụ from now to December 2nd, after December 2nd, IPOB research card warrior, after the social media warrior, the IRAT, the BOS, the dogs that are more white. The dogs, so if they commit, they will go back and lick it. I begin to ask myself, I want to be asking all these questions. If Simon is finally out, Maazị Nkanu is finally out, ofu egwu awata m n'obi, egwu ahụ bụ ihere emegbuola ekwensu, ihere emegbuola ekwensu, ihere emegbuola ekwensu, ma ndị na-agara ya ozi. Mụ Biafra ihere emegbuola Nigeria, ihere emegbuola DOS, ihere emegbuola ha, ma ndị na-arụzu ọrụ, ihere emegbuola ekwensu, ihere emegbuola ekwensu, ihere emegbuola ekwensu, ma ndị na-agara ha ozi. Nigeria kpọọ isi n'ala nye Biafra. Nigeria kpọọ isi n'ala nye Biafra. Ụmụ Biafra ọ ga-adịrị anyị na mma. Within myself, I ask myself, if Maazị Nnamdi Kanu comes out, or where he is, he heard that Simon was arrested in Finland, and he will now ask, what is his offense? They say that Nigeria government wrote a petition and said that he inciting terrorism in Nigeria. What will be on Maazị Nnamdi Kanu's brain, and what will come on his face? He will said, my son is doing well. So the same charge they arrested me for is what they arrested him for. Only that has proved an evidence that he is doing well. Only that proves that when Maazị Nnamdi Kanu said we must follow him, that he has come to bring a new dimension, that my son has accomplished the mission. When he also out, he sits down and find out there is government in exile. There is active working de facto government in the homeland. And he will say, oh, what I am trying to achieve, or what I thought that group of Ushemefo could have led on, that they could not even put the structure. That in within 3 years of only him, Simon Ekpa, following me, he have put all this structure. That he is my son. I am proud of you. Then you now ask yourself, in your house, if you have a 3 child, like I said, and these 3 child, you give all of them assignments when you are going out. Let me say, in the farm in Igbo land, you said, you walk from here to here. You walk from here to here. You walk from here to here. And when you finally come back to the house, you find out that the first child did not even work at all. The second child work his own work at the middle and stop. And the last born finish up the house. Who are you going to praise? And who are you going to give biscuits or sweet or shingom? Or who are you going to go to market and give a new cloth, bought a new cloth for him? If you can answer this question within your brain, you will know where we are. Why I use this 3 example is this. There was an era of Ushemefo, there was era of DOS, and there was era of Simon Ekpa. Among these 3, who do you think deserve job well done? My son, you have did well. You have done well. Come and take biscuits, take shingom, have a new cloth. This December, I will buy you a new canvas. If it happen in your house, tell me, Mazi shoes, who are you going to buy this cloth, those things for? Is it not the last born who finished up the job? You give instruction for them to carry out. I want our people to connect the dot of where I am going. That smart Simon Ekpa has proved that he is 50 men in one. He has finished the job. In a new dimension, is where we are talking about Biafra from all the way from Finland, in Europe, no longer in Nigeria. In the same that Finland, thousands of Biafra are trooping in. Biafra declaration, or what we are doing, is only 2 days because the program starts on 29. Today is 26, 27, 28. Count, remove today, 2 days left behind, and the program will start. If you come back in your house and have a son who clean up everywhere, put all the whole house, all the plates, all the spoons, all the dishes in the house, put it in a normal place, what else are you waiting for? It's for you to sit down and ask for meal. And when you are eating the meal on a good environment, if you can be eat and talk and look around and even look at this place is very neat, and the food will be digesting very well. That is the era of where we are. The era of Simon Ekpa has never existed in the world because it's not the method Magandhi used. It's not the method Gaddafi used. It's not the method any other freedom fighter used. Is what he used. They used only one method, but he used 4 dimensions to make sure that he delivered. Come to home, civil disobedience, the armed struggle, diplomatic level, and all the lobby firms in the world are coming to Finland because of Biafra retaliation. That is why I said, when you come back in and find out that your house is put in order, plates, dishes, clothes was ironed, the fridge is working, things are okay, you need to sit down and eat food. You need to eat down and take your juice and relax yourself. After eating, there is no job. You go to your bed, you relax, you wait for a very nice sleep. You take the sleep. When you wake up, you become more healthier than the way you were before because everything was put in a place. No stress before going to the bed. You know how you look like. This is era where we are. Our people. At last, shame will befall on Nigeria, and Nigeria must bow down for Biafra. And they already bowed down. If you look at them, They are shaken out from this matter. If you listen to the last video you played, what they invited our leader for, Simon Ekpa for, he has already explained all of them.
Absolutely.
See, when you bring evidence, you bring counter evidence. It's only when evidence does not have counter evidence is where you win. Nigeria bring evidence, but we are bringing counter evidence. Some people in Yoruba land that are truthful are also bringing evidence, counter evidence to Nigeria government. Kemi is bringing evidence. The lady from Nigeria who spoke on one of the stations said that Nigeria is they are the ones sponsoring this thing. Our people, I want to ask you again, if they ask you who those who are committing all this violence in our side, I ask you a question. Asawana of Hasred Okobo, what is their work? Where are they working? Are they not Igbos? They are Igbos. Sometimes when you see people come on social media and shout, you sit at home, Biafra or Biafra, bye. You by them fruit, you shall know them. I want to mention somebody's name. Madam Azoka and Gaddafi, the boys they are training, what is their work? We are getting information on ground. The boys that Madam Azoka, Gaddafi are training, what is their work? Their work is to sabotage what our PM and the Mazda Nakano is doing. Our PM is only putting this in on social media for the world to see that these people are shooting this gun because they want Biafra. But in their mind, those who are doing it, they are doing it because they don't want Biafra to come. The only when you will see our men is that when they will tell you, look at them, oh, we have destroyed their armor tanker, they have run, this is their clothes, this is their gun, that is our men. Any other person who you see that is not on this track, that is shooting on them, sit at home, they are Sawana, they are Gaddafi and the Madam Azoka boys. Let Madam Azoka debunk today that he doesn't have a voice and Gaddafi. What is their job? And you think that we are not on ground and we are not monitoring the movement. We are on ground, we are monitoring the movement. Our men are doing job. Go to Mbosi in Imo State. Go to Iseke. That is somebody who give me a voice note. If you are playing this voice note, you will know something. The guy said that these Biafra boys are no longer shooting AK-47. No only bomb with the here when they shoot Nigeria government. Armor tanker are destroying every blessed day. And this is the information of today. He said that since Monday there is, and they have come. He said they have destroyed the secondary school because they want to beat their animal today. Imagine people, authority who will come and start where students they are stealing. And when we come to sit at home, you open your stinking mouth and tell us that we don't want them to go to school. Those who are I said Mbosi, those who are in Anambra, those who are in Imo know where they call Mbosi Secondary School. Nigeria Army has raised it down as I'm talking to you right now. They have burned it down and chased the students away. And when we talk of sit at home one day, we tell us that we don't want them to go to school for Monday. You think that we don't know the game. You will reap what you sow. And that is what they are reaping. And I thank God that men on ground said that, do you know that in Iseke, in Mbosi, in our mama, in Olu, those areas, they are sacking our people. They are burning the market, they are burning the houses, they are burning a whole school.
Of course, the video is everywhere.
And our people cannot reason, cannot ask themselves questions. When you are so-called Nigeria, may Nigeria happen to you? When they kidnap you, when they kill your people, mistakenly, the straight gun kill a member of your family, that is when Nigeria will happen to you. And it shall happen to all of you. I have worked in the zoo. Nothing good is coming from Nigeria military. Both they are paramilitary, nothing good. The only what they teach them is how to kill, how to have power over an innocent plus civilian. But when they meet their Waterloo on the road, they will run away. When they meet those who had what they has, they run away. our people. There is nothing will stop this movement. That is why I said we are at the end of the road. In football match, you have 90 minutes. When the match is on a knockout stage or semi-final or final, if you play 90 minutes, you did not score goal, they will give you extra 30 minutes. We have played our 90 minutes. In these 30 minutes they give us, we are playing the first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes we expire on December 2nd when we declare Biafra. The last 15 minutes is to make sure that entire Biafra has been secured and defended. That is when the final whistle will blow. When the world, when United States of America, we said we allow Biafra to go. Because they said that people has right to form their own alliance of a government. And that is where we are. So you who think that is not our right to form our alliance, you are making a mistake. In these 3 days minus today that remains, ask yourself, do I stand very well? Do I still believe? Am I become livered person, like Manan Kanu said? If you have a visa to go to Finland and it did not go, believe me, you are among those that are livered human beings. That Maazin Nanakali is talking that, how can we take such men to war? The fear in you that did not make you to go to Finland, make you to become a livered person. Freedom is not being given, it's being taken. Let's take it once and for all. Airborne, my brother, we move. Mechuku Okabiama continuously, extremely, authoritatively protect Simon Ekpa, protect Maazin Nnamdi Kanu, protect all the Biafra government in exile, protect our army. Chineke, Chukwu, ebe ka ị nọ. Biakwa n'oge eruole. Oge a bụ oge gị. Isi na oge ruo, akwa mgbochi ekewa, akwa mgbochi ji ụmụ Biafra, ji Nnamdi Kanu, ji ma Simon Ekpa. Anyị si na oge wadị aka akwa mgbochi ekewa. Anyị ji ka ọchịchịrị ya pụọ n'iru anyị ka ihe wee shake. Ihe na nke ọ bụ Chineke bụ ihe. Ikechara ụwa wee sị na ụwa jupụtara n'elu mmiri na ọchịchịrị. Mmụọ wee lenugharị n'elu ya. I wee sị mba na ọ dị ka ihe wee dị. Ihe nke Afrịka bụ Biafra. Mezie ka ihe eshake. Ihe na anyị mana ihe na-esi, ihe dị mma na-esi ike, mana oge eruole. Chukwu oke abịa ma lee na ọbara niile nke ụmụ gị na-enweghị ha mere nke akwafuru. So maka ọbara bụ tiwara anyị ụzọ siri ike. So maka ọbara mee ka ọnụkwuru njọ kwuo mma. So maka ọbara mee ka isi kpuo ndị iro anyị. Otu nwa ahụ nke anyị kwere na ya bụ Jizọs Kraịst mụrụ maka ya. He is a freedom fighter. He fights to liberate us from the darkness of Satan. And that is why we can open mouth and said, we'll call his name. And you also said, na ihe ọbụla anyị yọrọ n'afịa na ị ga-emere anyị. Chukwu okike abịama, nye anyị Biafra na Eke, nye anyị Biafra na Orie, nye anyị Biafra na Afọ, nye anyị ya na Nkwọ. Ọnụ ọjọọ ọbụla nke na-ekwu Simon Ekpa, ọnụ ahụ ga-ada ogbi na Eke, ọ ga-ada n'Orie, ọ ga-ada na Afọ, ọ ga-ada na Nkwọ. Ọnụ ọjọọ ọbụla nke na-ekwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, ọnụ ahụ ga-ada ogbi na Eke, ọ ga-ada n'Orie, ọ ga-ada na Afọ, ọ ga-ada na Nkwọ. Ihe dị mma ka anyị ga-afụ, anyị ga-adị ndụ fụ Biafra. Ndị si na ha achị fụ Biafra, Chineke enwere ha chọrọ ịfụ were anyị ha. Ihila nke a ka ga-enye ya. Anyị na-arịọ na anyị chọrọ Biafra. Ha nwa chọrọ Naijiria, Chineke oke abịa ma nye ha Naijiria ka ọ daa ha isi la Eke, daa ha la Orie, daa ha la Afọ, daa ha la Nkwọ. Otu anyị sịgoda ka o siri dị, lafọ Chukwu oke abịa ma ise. Maazị ya gaziere gị.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that very amazing and strong submission. You have really nailed it, and that is where we are. Every Biafra must rise up and speak up. You must not allow anything whatsoever to distract you. We know that the challenges are not easy. For the people across the world that are watching us and you are worried Why is it that these people are asking that they want to go out? Our Prime Minister have explained it partly. Our reason for having our own country is for us to survive. It is to save life and allow every region to grow in their own space and at their own speed. The purpose of our asking for self-referendum is to save life, because we, the Biafran people, have become an endangered species in Nigeria. The most disturbing is that Nigeria is not a country, has never been a country, was never signed up to be a country. But people continue to pretend. People continue to pretend that there is something they can do. People continue to pretend that Nigeria can work. Nigeria has not been working, will never work. It doesn't matter what you do. Every indigenous person in Nigeria, more especially the Biafran people, have become an endangered species. We do everything possible to make sure we work out of this very entity. That is why we are going ahead to ask for the disintegration of the country. You're welcome, my brother Anderson. You're welcome. Can you hear me, Anderson? Can you hear me? Anderson, are you there? Can you hear me? Your background is noisy. If you can hear me, speak up. Let's hear you. I think Anderson is not is having a problem. Try again. Let's see if you can be able to connect. So, my fellow Biafrans, Nigeria is not meant to succeed. Every single evil that is happening in Nigeria was planted by the British, and they have continued at every point in time. From the beginning, from the onset, Nigeria was set up as a corrupt entity. It was set up as a business, which was meant to favor the British. And after they have stolen enough resources, instead of allowing the people to be on their own, they went ahead to amalgamate people that doesn't have anything together. It is not only that they amalgamated them together, they forcefully, wrongly, with lies, they amalgamated them. They manipulated the elections, they manipulated the census, they manipulated everything that has to do with that amalgamation. And today, the manipulation and the lies has given birth to what you see today as the criminal entity called Nigeria. The people who are saying, regardless their region, whether you are Oduduwa, whether you are Arewa, whether Middle Belt or in Biafra, the people that are saying in that place today has no other choice except disintegration, so that they can go their separate ways and sort out their problem in the manner in which they prefer. That is all we are asking for. Disintegration. Let every region focus on their problem and solve it. We are not asking for disintegration out of envy, out of jealousy, out of wickedness. No, it is because it is the right thing to do to save humanity in that British contraption. And when we tell you about the manipulation of the British, you will not understand. That is why sometimes we bring videos to play. You will see a British man confessing about the atrocities of the British in Nigeria before the amalgamation. And I'm going to play one of those videos. You will see a British man confessing to the atrocity that was committed before the amalgamation. How they rigged everything, the census and the elections, just to favor the favorable criminal. And because of that, we will not continue to be in that entity. We have suffered for too long. We have sacrificed for too long. We have been there for too long. And we can no longer no longer accept such kind of environment anymore. We can no longer accept such kind of environment. You're welcome, Anderson. Go ahead and speak to us. Let's hear from you, Anderson.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Well, we are thanking you all for the great work that you are doing for the Biafrans. And I know by the special grace of God, we are getting there sooner than later. Really, please, I want to get a hint about the state of events from Finland, please, about our PM. Because I'm aware of the whole shenanigans from the Nigerian government and the state of, but I want to know as at this morning, please, what is the state of things from Finland? The situation of things here, please.
The state of what?
Despite the fact I know that the situation of things in Finland now, respect of our PM.
Yeah, when it comes to Finland, I have said it several times, nobody should worry itself. Finland is not an African country. Finland is not Nigeria. The Finnish local authorities invited our Prime Minister for interrogation. And the Finnish government has a rule and laws how they do their things. Their interrogation can last for days, can last for weeks, depending on the weight of what they are doing. There is nothing wrong in what Finnish government is doing. They have to show to the world that they are not playing side with the Biafran people. They have to show to the world that they are not pursuing a selfish interest. They must have to show to the world that they are not doing what they are doing because of their own interest. They have to show to the world that they are neutral. And in order to prove to the world that they are neutral, they have to conduct this very section of invitation. Our Prime Minister is responding and defending Biafrans and what he's doing. And I bet you that our Prime Minister is in a very safe hand. He is in a very safe hand. And very, very soon, he is going to speak to us. We will see him back on our various platforms when he will address Biafrans. As for now, every member of the government of Biafra is focused on the convention that is going to happen from 29th to 3rd. As I speak to you, Biafrans are flying into Finland. Many Biafrans have already arrived in Finland, and most of us are still going to Finland. Many Biafrans are already there. As we speak to you now, many are there. And they have enough security for our people. Every Biafran that goes to Finland is welcome, receive, and they are given adequate security. Nobody is intimidated. Nobody is disturbed. On the side of our Prime Minister, Samuel Ekpa, our prayer is that he must join us and raise the flag. And we have a very high hope that nothing is going to stop him. Most importantly, just as the COS have said, it doesn't matter what happens.
Of course.
The declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra will happen on the 2nd of December. We will declare Biafra. What every one of us should be concerned about, many especially people in Biafra land, is to be security conscious. Think about how to protect yourself. Think about how to go about your ways. Don't go out unnecessarily. Pay attention to every single instruction that is coming from Biafra government so that you will know where to go, when to go, and how to go about things. After the declaration of Biafra, Biafra land will be defended. It is not an easy task. We know they will try to make their move. The Liberation Army is preparing heavily as we speak. They are preparing. So whatever happens, our declaration will happen and we will defend our land. So in terms of our Prime Minister, don't bother yourself. Don't worry yourself. The only thing you can do is to pray for him for strength. Pray for him for more wisdom. Pray for him to continue to stand firm until you will see him very, very soon. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Again, really, the joy is mine. And I know that what is happening really doesn't give me too much a surprise, because I know freedom is not an easy task.
Yes.
And most especially, like we all know, this freedom we're fighting for is something that some of this Western world are not happy about it. It's like becoming a threat. Some of them, most especially the British government. Yes. I used to, from my assessment, sometimes it is not even Nigeria per se that is the major problem we are facing in this context. For the colonial master, who knows what it is, what the worth of us living in this country and being on our own. They are the ones, through from behind door, are always working on these manipulations. So, but my analysis is that amongst us, we have some saboteurs and some I don't know from where they come into this world. When you listen to some Biafrans, yes, you begin to ask, did they come as a human being, or they came into this world from an animal womb? They talk foolishly, seeing the mess we're in it. Somebody yesterday, during the Nama's program, an old man that was telling the whole world that he witnessed the Biafran civil war, was busy talking blah 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 and a hell of rubbish. That's how are we doing this? I begin to ask I thought I was annoyed with him, but allow him, that's too much time to disturb people that want to come in and make an important contribution. This is a man that maybe a kind of a stooge to the Eastern politicians, and working, because from the way they stand on the both side of the match, you know that these people are not part of us.
Yes.
There are people who are working for the interest of one Nigerians, and at the same time working to protect the interests of the Eastern politicians, who are the major problem suffering today. This war has put us into a state of a painful moment. They are putting us into a state of existential threat that everybody knows. If you are really in Nigeria and you know what is going on, you know that if something is not done in the next 5 years, I'm telling you, the Biafran race will be forgotten on the surface of this earth. I know God will not allow what to happen. A very big plan is on the ground, and these people are working tooth and nail to make sure that we are being subjugated to a full-time slavery in collaboration with the British government. But I know that the time for the British government to collapse is now. For the fact that they look at the issue that is going on, they have to come around and they're helping the Arab world, the jihadis, in collaboration with the Palestinians and the Hamas, to petition ICC, and ICC has issued an arrest warrant to get Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. So there, I know that the end of British is designed to be now, because their evil cup is filled to the brim, and definitely they are not going to last after this moment. But one thing I know, that let the wicked ones go to any extreme. I know that this moment is a time that God has designed and fashioned that we are going to be liberated from the shackle of the demonic kingdom. This is not a place where we're supposed to be. We don't derive joy. I'm speaking right away. I'm speaking from North. I'm saying Nigeria. I'm saying the country. In this zoo, shithole called the country. I'm saying, and I know the experience we are passing through here. I know the subjugation and the caricature we are being subjected to. And then some fools will come out and begin to tell you that this is that. No, when you don't have anything to say, you go behind and listen. Like the other day, the useless, hopeless drunkard, I suspect that man from Canada. The man they call Dr. Cherry. That man is less human. He's a very useless human being. From his appearance, psychologically, you know that man is a drunkard. He's not always in his normal senses when he talks. Talking English, and he's not even ashamed. People are supposed to be ashamed of themselves. By the segment that they're uttered, they will be there. You know, maybe that they are saying the right and they do the right thing. Talking out of their senses. But I want to put, I am begging. It is time that, because our Biafran defense forces have to step up, because the day is already by the corner, and I know we're not going backward. This is what they did during the election to distract the templates. When as though we have it, even at the end of it, we succeeded. After 25 million people registered, how many voted? So now it came again, and really, they have known that this is a date that is designed and destined by God. Now on this 2nd of December, after declaration, Biafra is free and set free forever. So they are trying to do everything to support my joy that as soon as the arrest issue was trending on the news, and Mrs. Ngozi Orabezi, that is the first minister, came and addressed Biafra. It gives me a high hope. I discovered that we have a cabinet, in fact, we have a government working. And because we have a government working, delaying or interrogation of our prime minister has given me that hope that nothing will stop the declaration of Biafra from coming December 2nd. But I want to really, really appreciate all of you, the Biafra media warriors. You are doing a very great job. Our thanks cannot pay you people back, but I know that we will live together and celebrate this great wonder that you are doing. And God is giving us Biafra. No man can stop it. This is God's own project. Nobody can be an obstacle. Anybody standing in the world Biafra is going to face wrath from heaven above. And we are going to be free by December 2nd. So I thank you and I appreciate your effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I thank you. I really, really appreciate you, and I can feel the fire in you. That is the spirit of Biafra. It has possessed every one of us, and we are ready to go. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter their distraction, it doesn't matter what they bring on to us. We are ready to go. And I assure you, the Liberation Army of Biafra on the ground are doing the needful, and the Biafrans across the world are supporting the Liberation Army, funding them to make sure they have what they need. That is one of the most important things we should do. Everybody that is being blessed, as long as you're Biafran, fingers are not equal. There are Biafrans that Chukwu have blessed with money. We have Biafrans who are billionaires in pounds. We have Biafrans who are billionaires in dollars. We have Biafrans who are billionaires in Ejema and in dollar, in Indian naira. This is the time for you to support your region. It is because of this time that Chukwu have blessed you. Support the Liberation Army of Biafra so that they can have the equipment they need to defend the land. They have donated their life. They are not asking for salary. They are not asking for any payment. All they are asking is the instrument to do the job for us. And every one of us must continue to support them and do our best to see that we exit the zoo very, very soon, as planned by the Prime Minister. The contraction criteria will never, ever survive. It was never meant to survive. Nigeria was never meant to be a country, has never been a country. Nigeria from the beginning was a fraud, which was concocted by the British. And we have a video to prove that. Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I'm going to play this video for the Biafrans listening to this very video and hear what the confession this man is making. A British man making confession of the fraud of the British when they created the Zoological Republic called
Nigeria. Region, either with the Yorubas or with the Igbos, but I mean, without which they
and took up a job as a personnel officer, a very big job with the Esso refinery. And then government came after me, declared that I was a traitor, and I had betrayed the British people, ought to be imprisoned.
This is a confession from a British man. How the British rigged the election in Nigeria, how the British favored the Fulani Caliphate and took away the freedom of the people and gave to Fulanis precisely for their own selfish interests. Listen carefully to what this man is explaining. A confession from a British man.
And I lost that job. And then they came to me again and said, it's all been a big mistake. Dreadful mistake. I'm a jolly decent chap, you know, Oxford chap. And they put me on a plane straight back to Nigeria, where I'd make up for the time I'd been away. There was a great deal of good work for me to do. And we fell for this. We shouldn't have gone back, but we did.
Now, if you recall what you said about the role of the Governor General and the attitude of the British government in particular, regarding the fear that Awolowo, Okutiebo, and the lot of them from the south are dangerous, is there a particular reason? Why the fear from the British government? Is it that they don't want to release or relinquish Nigeria? They still want to control Nigeria?
They knew that the North would do as they said after independence. If it had any, the North would just, because it was their habit, they liked the British, whereas the nationalists were an unknown factor. Actually, when they took the flag down and hoisted the Nigerian flag, not one of the major nationalist politicians was there. They weren't even on the platform. This was incredible. These were the people who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a...
Did you hear him say it? That the people in the northern part of Nigeria never wanted independence. The people that want independence are the people in the southern part of Nigeria, the Oduduwa people and the Biafrans. But eventually, during the time they wanted to hand this so-called independence to them, nobody from the south was there. They took the power and gave to the north. And this man that is making this confession was a witness. Before the amalgamation, he was a witness. And he is making this confession on an interview, on video. You can hear it being said by this man himself. How the British planted the evil entity you are seeing today, the way they orchestrated their evil and all the plan. I want you to watch and listen carefully to what he's saying.
The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a farce. And the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. People who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a farce. People who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. These were the people who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a farce. And for most Europeans who were very close and watching this, we were disgusted. We thought this really had been manipulated, this election. It was unworthy. It was unworthy of the British people, this. This was no honest, straightforward thing that you would expect Britain, the mother of parliaments, to do. This was cheap and low and criminal. And I opposed it. And I opposed it then, and I've opposed it ever since. And I'm telling you the truth.
This man said that when this thing was happening, he opposed it, which is absolutely correct. It is possible, because no matter how evil people are, there has always been that one person that will stand out. No matter how evil people are, there is always one person that will be different from every other person. In every evil gathering and every evil manipulation, there was always one person who will have that conscience to remind others that what they are doing is bad. And this man said that what they did was evil. He opposed it then, and he will continue to oppose it because his conscience will not accept what they did. Giving the independence to Fulanis who are not indigenous in Nigeria, who were not even interested in the independence. And they left out the Southerners, who were the ones that were pursuing independence. So sad.
And I was warned, if I told you this state secret, my life could be forfeit.
They warned him not to reveal this secret he's revealing today. That is, it is a state secret that if he reveals it, his life could go for it. But his conscience could not allow him. He has revealed it to the world. And the world is seeing, when we say that we cannot allow the zoo to survive the next minute. When we say we don't want the zoo to continue, this is it. This is a British man confessing of what transpired before the amalgamation. The fraud, the criminality. A British man confessing. So when the Biafrans say they don't want to be part of the zoo, these are the reasons.
Earlier on, you said...
When you hear our Prime Minister raise up and say, we can no longer accept this nonsense, these are the reasons. When you see our Prime Minister broadcast on a daily basis and say he wants to take Biafra out of the zoo, these are the reasons.
The British government wanted the North in alliance with either of the southern region, either with the Yorubas or with the Igbos.
But
I mean, without which they...
Yeah. And it was expected that the nationalist leaders would win through, but actually, when the election results were announced by the Governor-General, before the vote was even in, didn't count for that, he didn't wait for that.
He's now explaining how they rigged the very first election that was supposed to make Nigeria a nation. This man is telling you that even before the election was conducted, the British already announced the result. The same thing you are seeing the politicians in Nigeria practicing today. It didn't start today. It started even before the amalgamation. The British introduced it. From the amalgamation, British introduced it. This man is confessing that they conducted election before election was to be conducted, that they have already written the result. This man is confessing that they wrote the result before the election came out. The result is already there.
They're meant to be. Nigeria was being described as the showcase of democracy, and it was expected that the nationalist leaders
now you see what they call democracy.
Win through, but actually, when the election results were announced by the Governor-General, before the vote was even in.
Before the vote was concluded, the Governor-General have already announced the result because they have written their own result. The same writing of result you are seeing in Nigeria up to today, it started from origin, from 1914. From 1914, that is when it started. You think it started yesterday, and you think such kind of a country will survive. You're a joker.
Didn't count for that. He didn't wait for that. I have to tell you, the British were counting the votes, and the British cannot be trusted. They look after their friends. Loyalty is the big thing for the British, and we were friends with the emirs of the north. We looked on people like Inaharo and Awolowo as rather dangerous people. The
British were seeing people in the southern part of Nigeria as dangerous people. They were on bed, romancing and laughing with the caliphate. They loved Janjaweed so much that they can do anything for them. But when they look at those of us from the south, they see us as terrorists. They see us as stubborn. They see us as people they cannot manipulate, and they hated us. This is a confession by a British man.
To even be communists. That's ridiculous.
They even went on to call us communists. And look at the man saying, that is so ridiculous, that they were seeing us as communists. Now you understand the evil that
they couldn't be communists in 1,000 years. But this was a sort of thing that was being said. And we were, Europeans, were getting a bit worried about all this. It wasn't quite the honest, straightforward election that we were hoping for.
Apart from Professor Anderson and Dr. Patrick Wilmot that supported your submission on the rigged election, there were other people who also served in the colonial office in your days. I mean, who opposed to this submission?
Initially, I was warned of what was going on by my senior officer, a Major Bunker. I didn't know, and I knew that the Governor-General had directed me to take all the office staff of the Ministry of Labour to help Chief Okoti Igbo in politicking in Warri. And this was most irregular, and I refused to do this. Having refused an order, I know what the drill is. You resign. I resign my post. That is the proper thing to do. What they did then was rather devious. They persuaded me to withdraw my resignation, and when I did, they sacked me. It didn't go through, but I thought this was a bit low after I'd resigned and was prepared to leave the country. This was not very nice behaviour. They later withdrew this and said that I had been of some service to the state, and actually commended me for what I had done, and said I could leave Nigeria with splendid testimonials, and we shook hands on this. And this was done with the recognition of the Deputy Governor-General, Sir Ralph Grey. And then I left Nigeria the first time and took up a job as a personnel officer, a very big job, with the Esso refinery. And then government came after me, declared that I was a traitor, and I had...
Now you can understand the kind of situation the Biafran people have faced. You can understand the challenges we have faced. Now you understand when we are calling out the British for the evil they did in Biafra land, you think it's a joke. When we accuse Britain of being part of the atrocities that is happening today, some of you don't understand. When we say Nigeria has a very devilish foundation, that foundation must be destroyed and lay a new foundation, some of you don't understand. We are saying it because it is the right thing to do. When the foundation is destroyed, what will the righteous do? The foundation upon which Nigeria was built is faulty, fraudulent, bloody. It's a forceful foundation. And until you break that foundation and lay a new foundation, nothing is going to succeed. That is why the Biafrans have said we cannot continue to fold our hands and watch things put itself in place. No. Chukwu Okikabema have given us the brain, the wisdom, the power to turn things around and make it what we want it to be. That is why the zoo must be disintegrated. The North will go back to where they are. The Ududua people will go back to their places. The Biafrans will go back to their place, and the Middle Belt can be on their own. And everyone will now lay a foundation by themselves according to their own ideas. If at the end of the day we decide to come together and interact or do businesses, we will agree on a terms based on our own understanding, not by one man from the far Britain will come and give to you. If you do not understand the evil that is holding you down in the zoo, I want you to hear this. Listen to this.
On a government, if that is not a change.
Is it really true to say that the northern part of the country exercises a veto power over the rest of Nigeria?
I can explain it. It has been reduced to a very bare fist issue. You have a president who can say that all the international agencies dealing with Nigeria should move more positive issues to the north. That is to say, General Buhari, the World Bank has confessed it in the open that they are required to move things to the north. The structure of government as it exists has been so banalized that nepotism is almost written into the Nigerian constitution in a manner that almost all other state functionaries are obliged to assume that that is the way to run a government. If that is not a way of turning the veto holder into an almost divine, into having a divine right to make things happen their way, there's no other way of explaining it. It just so happens that what was a mere veto holder yesterday has become a divine push. And let me tell you what is more terrible about that divine push.
There are southerners who have been exercising veto power in the course of Nigerian history.
I will explain
so
this.
it's not as if it's only in the north.
No, I will explain
this hegemony.
The average educated Nigerian, in order to be shown as a liberal, very freedom-loving, democratic person, is always trying to be nice to the north. There is no reason to be nice to the north. They are our brothers, and we have a right to fight over the issues that we need to change. It is no longer right to be nice to the north, because in this particular case, I give you a very good example now. You have a governor.
This point he made is one of the dangerous points, very, very dangerous attitude of the zoo, that before you can attend to any height, before you can access to any position, before you can do anything, you must first of all appease the northern part of Nigeria before you can succeed. That is the structure of Nigeria. That you must identify with the northern part of Nigeria, up to the extent of telling you to throw away your own religion, throw away your own culture, and embrace the northern culture and religion before ever you can be able to do a thing in the zoo. And you tell me that that is okay. How is that okay? How is that sensible? Which reasonable human being will allow this to continue? But this is happening in the Zoological Republic. Now you understand why it has become compulsory that the Biafrans will walk away from the zoo, whether they like it or they don't.
Who tells you that all the non-Nigerian Fulanis must be catered for by the Nigerian state, and actually argues against the respect for international boundaries, argues against national policies on the grounds that one ethnic group, which just happened to be the ethnic group with which the British worked out an alliance, should permanently remain a freeholder, moving across all boundaries, respecting no laws and things of that nature. If you are talking about all Nigerians having a right, that is a claim to a divine right that you are not allowed to touch unless you belong to that ethnic fraction in Nigeria. If that ethnic fraction had the means to create a nation, they would have created one by now. The truth is that between the Fulani and the Hausa, there is a very badly structured sense of nationality. The way people talk about it, those who know, they will say a pulo is a pulo and a kado is a kado. It means that although they speak the same language, they have not managed to create a sense of nationality. And they have imposed that in every other part of Nigeria and in every Nigerian conference and situation. We just don't need, we don't have to be over-liberal. Let us confront the issues. When you allow a small minority to control a majority, as I once said in this station, they can only rule by falsehood and violence. And that is what we are having. I give you one good example. The agitation for state creation and for changing the boundaries of the various states began as early as 1904. The Lorin people were already demanding to join their kith and kin in the western region. It never happened. Do you know that the Brgie of Nigeria, the Gwari, they are divided between 6 different states and have never been allowed to come together to form a state, whereas they are contiguous. But I'll tell you something. When you not have...
You see this explanation, when we begin to explain our own, some idiots will think it's just about Biafra. You see this man explaining how the Bari people in the southwest, we are scattered everywhere. Southwest, including leaving them, selling them out to Benin Republic. You disintegrate people without their consent. You just wake up in the morning and you begin to place people wherever whether they like it or not, you belong here. Up to the extent of taking an Igbo man to put him in the northern part of Nigeria. And you want us to fold hand and continue to watch. You are a dreamer. And this very nonsense has come to end.
A governor, in fact, 2 governors, Bauchi and Kebi, when you now have 2 governors insisting that an ethnic group that does not even belong to Nigeria should be given special rights in Nigeria. And you find that those who are already in Nigeria, like the Gwari and many other ethnic groups, I will come to that, they are not even allowed to come together as an ethnic group. You will know that the source of the crisis is very strong.
Now you understand the situation of this man. You see the evil of the zoo. In Nigeria, they do not like people of like manners to be together. Just what they are doing to the Igbos today. They have scattered the Igbos, they share the Igbos and take them away from their states. Today, Igbos are in 12 states in that contraption, but they narrowed them down to 5 states, and they will tell you that these 5 states, these 4 states, 5 states, Igbos are in 12 states. And when we try to bring them back together as one, they get agitated. They get angry. Why are you dragging them? Why are you touching them? These are indigenous people in their land. When we talk about bringing them back to where they belong, people get agitated. Even the ordinary people thinking that they are doing to Igbos. Look at this man explaining it, even to Baris. But these same people who will come and talk and say they don't want to they are inviting their own brothers from the whole of West Africa. They invite Fulanis from all the West African countries to come into Nigeria freely. You see governors come to invite them. You see governors make a case for them. You see governors tell you to give them allocation. You see presidents telling you to accept them, put them in place. Today, they have violently taken people's land. And those people move to IDP camp, leave their land. The Fulanis, who are not Nigerians, occupy it. They will boldly come on national TV and invite all Fulani from West Africa to come in. A president opened the border and said they should come in. But you, that is in that contraption, when you want to unite with your own brother, they will tell you no. In the Southwest, they are divided. They want to bring themselves together. They say no. In the Southeast division, we want to bring ourselves together. They say no. But they are busy calling all their own people from all the part of West Africa. I thank you for our Supreme Leader Mazin Nandekano. I thank you for our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, who has led us to this path. We have 3 days more to go. The declaration of the restoration of Biafra is where we are, and the whole world is watching and waiting to see what we are going to do. The fraud called Nigeria did not start today. The fraud called Nigeria did not start their evil today. And I'm going to show you the fact. The people you are calling your founding father are all fraudsters. Fraudsters trained by the British. And I want you to see this.
In defense of my honor, and with due deference to those concerned.
In 1949, a company belonging to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and his family bought a bank in Lagos. The bank was bought with the intention to have a bank controlled by a black Nigerian, which will serve the interest of other Nigerians. Because then, banks were owned and controlled by the British. So Azikiwe desired to have a bank that Africans can call their own, which would break the British banking monopoly in Nigeria. The name of the bank then was African Continental Bank. However, after some years, a report about transactions carried out by the bank showed that although Nnamdi Azikiwe had resigned as chairman of the bank when he took office as the Premier of Eastern Region in 1954, but the active chairman of the bank, as at the time of the report, was his friend. The report revealed that most of the paid-up capital of the bank were from the Eastern Regional Financial Corporation. So a tribunal was set up to investigate the matter. It was headed by the then Nigeria's Chief Justice, Sir Foster Sutton, and was called the Foster Sutton Tribunal. The tribunal found out that while serving as the Premier of Eastern Region, Nnamdi Azikiwe had transferred public money, which was about 1/4 of the whole 1955-1956 revenue of the Eastern Region, to his own bank in order to save the bank from collapse. Corruption did not start from there. In fact, let's start from the beginning. Before Nnamdi Azikiwe's corruption case, in 1943, Sir Ahmadu Bello was sentenced to 1 year in prison by the Sultan of Sokoto's court for misappropriating cattle tax which he collected from cattle owners in Gusau region in present-day Zamfara state, where he was the councillor. However, he spent only 3 months in jail. As he appealed the sentence in a higher court, stating his innocence, the court later granted him freedom. Few years after independence, in 1962, Chief Obafemi Awolowo was found guilty by a commission of inquiry known as Justice Coker Commission for using the Western region's money to finance the promotion and activities of his party, the Action Group. The Coker Commission found out that Awolowo mismanaged and diverted funds totaling over £6 million from the Western Region Marketing Board to finance political activities. All these were corruption cases that had connection to the founding fathers of Nigeria. But corruption was firstly introduced in Nigeria way back in 1914 when Nigeria became a country. Just a few months after the amalgamation of southern and northern Nigeria, the British contractors and traders introduced what they called contract percentage into the Nigerian trade system. What is this contract percentage? Contract percentage was the extra money contractors and traders were making from every contract awarded. For instance, if Mr. John is a building contractor, he would approach Mr. Ben, who is a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Works, for a contract to build a 10-kilometer road in Lagos. Mr. Ben would then tell Mr. John to add an extra percent to the cost of the contract, let's say like 15 or 20%, which would be given to him as his own reward for awarding the contract to him. The 15 or 20% extra cost on the contract would be given to Mr. Ben, who awarded the contract to Mr. John, when Mr. Ben received the payment from the government or organization that awarded the contract. That was how the British introduced the first phase of corruption in Nigeria. This process of awarding contracts by government officials and private organizations still persists till date in Nigeria. The third chapters of corruption happened when large sums of money suddenly disappeared from the accounts of government agencies, commissions, and parastatals. It happened between 1976 and 1979. The Nigerian oil sector lost $2.8 billion. Muhammadu Buhari was the Federal Commissioner for Petroleum and Natural Resources when this happened. Again, during the Gulf War, the same Nigeria oil sector lost $12.4 billion under General Ibrahim Babangida's regime. These huge sums of money were not accounted for by both administrations. A recent attempt through a lawsuit by a civil society group to bring Babangida to account for the money which got missing under his watch was struck out by a federal high court in Abuja. Additionally, the fourth origin of corruption in Nigeria was done through a decree called the Land Use Decree, which is today known as the Land Use Act. How did it happen? For instance, there was a federal government program called...
You have seen the Nigeria you celebrate, you've seen their foundation. The people you call your founding father, you see all of them, corrupt people, they all have corrupt cases. They all have gone to jail. Including the British you call your colonizer, you see how they introduce fraud. But today, they will boldly come and call you fantastically corrupt people. Even when they are the people that planted that fantastical corruption in Nigeria. Now you see why they don't want us to break out. But the end has come. They can't stop us anymore. We are going and we must go. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate everyone that have participated on this program. I thank you for being part of this program. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing and liking. Please continue to share and like as we await our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Do not listen to any propaganda. When our Prime Minister will speak, you are going to see him on this platform. Anything you did not see from the Biafra, the Republic of Israel platforms, ignore it. It doesn't exist. Very soon, every one of us are going to meet. Biafrans are already in Finland. Biafrans are storming Finland as we speak. And more people are flying in. 29th, the convention will commence until 2nd. And after that, it will be a different ballgame. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect us and give us the strength to overcome. Before we go further, let us hear this message from our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon.
Who are those? They claim that are the Igbo Union or Igbo community. These are people that doesn't have profile. There is no single profile. Nothing. There is nothing to write home about. So onye are there assign no. I say because I say now to Vanguard. Vanguard because Vanguard is looking for anybody. Just If you want to be noticed today in Nigeria, call yourself one thing. You can give yourself even Igbozurume. When we were doing Igbozurume, take one name now. Just write Simon Ekpa. You drag Simon Ekpa to Washington. You drive Simon Ekpa. Bam! It may appear. If you want to advertise your organization, and you have been trying and nobody is listening to you. If you want your organization to be published on Nigerian newspaper, write that Simon Ekpa, that you are taking Simon Ekpa to the highest court in the world. Bam! You are going to appear on Vanguard. When they tell you that people are suffering in Biafra, you think that they actually care because people are suffering? The answer is no. They don't care shit about you. Sorry about my language. They don't care. These people don't care if you die. How many people have died in northern Nigeria? Do they care? Are they not human beings? Are they not Nigerians again? Do you see them showing any concern? The answer is no. They share concern in the southeast. Oh, people are dying for sit at home. No! They actually understand the consequences of the sit at home as a vote of no confidence and as a loss of territory and legitimacy to the Biafra people. That's what they are shouting about. Not because of you. The people that threaten to lock your shop if you don't open, does that show care? So what sense does it make? If you did not open your shop, we are going to lock it. So is that how to show you love? That you must open your shop, otherwise they are going to lock it. They are actually threatening you, doing the thing they are accusing Biafra of doing. So if you do not open your shop, we are going to lock it. And if you open one and you don't open, they will lock it for 1 month. You will never, they will see your shop forever, and you will not sell again. Does that show you that they actually love you? So if somebody who actually cared at you are not going to shop to make money, is it by locking it up if you don't go? The answer is no, because they never care. They only care about restoring this particular integrity they have lost to the Africa. That's all.
Thank you so much for joining me on the program today. I appreciate everybody that have participated in one way or the other. I pray that Chukwu Abiyama will guide and protect every one of us. Pray for those Biafrans that are flying by air, those who are going through the land and by road, those who are going through the sea to Finland, those who are on their way today flying to Finland. Pray for them for a safe trip. Pray for our Liberation Army, that Chukwu Abiyama will guide and protect them, secure them. Pray for all the Biafrans who are going to play one role or the other in this convention. May Chukwu come again and protect them. Pray for the de facto government in the homeland. Pray for all the members of the cabinets that are working tirelessly to see that this convention becomes a success. Pray for every one of us, and pray for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, for strength, for revelations, for wisdom. Pray that Mazi Simon Ekpa will raise the flag with us very soon. Pray for our Spring Master Nandekana, that Chukwu will grant him healing, strength. Give him that courage to stand until we all get into Biafra together. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for being part of this program, and I will see you again tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu. Thank you so much, and stay blessed. See you next.
Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic! Thank